So when we say living wisely, it is very simple to understand. Living wisely means that we know the cause and effect in every action, in every thought, in every speech. I'm speaking softly, so I need not to worry about anything, even if someone is not. Clarity is there. There should be a clarity, and the clarity comes from the knowledge. Take a simple example. We grab a cup of tea in the kitchen. We buy the stuff from the store. So there is a cause and there is an effect. So clarity means that I have a right knowledge that rules the thought, speech, and action. So, what it has to do with the Eastern wisdom and the meditation, that is the journey. We always talk, I am strong, I am weak, I'm intelligent, I am stressed, and I am crazy, and long list. We always use personal I, always use I am stressed, I am happy, I am good, I am bad. But have we ever thought, who is this I?
Excuse me, what was your last phrase?
Have we ever thought, who is this I?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Who is this I am? Can I say with the certainty that it is my life, or we are simply living? This life runs by many factors. When we say life is a journey, do we really understand? Everything is changing. And this life, so-called life, is run by the body, sense organs, mind, breath, intellect. Can we say can we say body is I? Can we say sense organ is I? Can we say breath is I? Can we say mind is I? Can we say intellect is I? We do not find this I, but we use the word I. am stressed, I am happy, I'm unhappy, I am married, I'm divorced. Ah, we never think of it. So our masters see that, sit down calmly and think about. When you say, it is my life, what do you mean? Is the life body? Is the life sense organs? Is the life mind? Is the life breath? Is the life intellect? And add another one, is the life ego? We don't find this I anywhere. So when we do not find this I, then where is this individual in life? We say I'm an individual. I means an individual. And when we say individual, that also means indivisible. But we have body, senses, mind, intellect, thoughts, feelings, sensations. Are they indivisible? We are not. We don't see anything by which we claim that we are an individual. We just go on using it. We use I'm stressed, I'm happy, I'm unhappy, I'm crazy, I'm lazy, I'm intelligent. Can we say that we do not know who we are and still we continue to live with the wrong notion, with a wrong label, I? Because when I say I am stressed, so it means I really know who am I. And that I is stressed, but I don't see any I as an individual. Hey, tell me, where is your I? And we continue to live our life, and that life has many destinations, departure and arrival points of childhood, of adolescence, of youth, of being rich, getting married, the divorced, remarried. My goodness, we don't know who is this I, who is getting married, who is divorced, who is earning, who is suffering. We don't know it. If we know it, so ask anyone, who is this I in you? Is this body, sense organ, mind, breath, intellect, thought, feeling, sensation, memory? I cannot use the word I for any one of them. So you see, our master says, what happens to the life when we do not know who we are? When I don't know who we are, there is no clarity, then I become stressed and I become happy. I marry and become happy, I divorce and become happy. Or I marry, I become stressed, I divorce, I become stressed. One thing is very clear, this I we do not know, but without I we do not live our life. So there is a utter confusion, conflict, duality, and a conflict in our life. It is a simple conclusion. When I'm hungry, I go to the kitchen and eat food. So there should be a simple conclusion. When I'm happy, I should remain happy. Simple logic, I'm putting the simple logic. So when I'm stressed, I should remember I was happy. Where that I gone, who was happy? Let me bring it back. But I don't know whether I'm happy, whether I'm painful, whether I'm stressed, whether I'm suffering. So, Master says we live our life with a conflict, with confusion, with the wrong notions. So, with these false notions in the mind, we build what we call ego. Well, when I say I am, it is an ego, but I don't find where is this I am. When I use the word I am, I see that it is an individual, but I don't see an individual within me. We do not find that individual. And we then what happens? Then we identify with the name, gender, sex, status, wealth, richness, poverty, knowledge, ignorance, relationship, identifying. Think. It's all about contemplation and reflection. Everything is black and white. So you see that when we do not think, then what happens? With your children, you become mom. And if the children do not listen to you, the mom becomes upset, but there is no mom inside. There is no mom inside. And I am bound to get upset and I am bound to be happy. If they like me, love me, if they follow me, I become happy. If they don't like me, so I become unhappy. We use the word individual, I am. We do not know this I am. But without I am, I do not work in my life. I'm doing this, I have gone this, and just now. So when we do not know, when there is a conflict, confusion, and duality, we identify with the world outside. We identify with the name, the shape, gender, sex, relationship, status, wealth, and we say, here I am. This is the identity crisis. We suffer from identity crisis all the time, 24 by 7. Because of this identity crisis, there the mind constantly lives in frustration, comparison, competition, jealousy, reaction, and that manifests outside, depending on the situation. Depending on the situation, we feel we are frustrated. Our frustration comes out, our anger, hesitation comes out, duality, and a conflict manifest in our life. Think of this. So, Master says, I'm just summarizing from where our Master talks about why don't you find out who am I? So, we normally take it for granted that we know who we are. I am Michael. I have this age. I'm doing this. I'm doing my business. I have, I'm married. I have kids, but nothing makes it clear who I am. It is all identification. And identification, so there is an identity crisis. So, identity crisis means there is always a sense of frustration, duality, and a conflict in which this mind constantly lives. And that is why we do not know when we will become angry, when we will become agitated, when we will marry, when we will divorce. I have a wonderful friend who had been with me for the last almost 3 years before the COVID. So I said he's evolving very fast. He was learning, but only at the level of intellectual. So unless that knowledge is realized by the heart, it cannot be converted. My life cannot be transformed. So I saw that it's a beautiful couple, and her his wife also used to do. They are millionaires, entrepreneurs, and they run in millions. Anyhow, so when this COVID broke out, so this gentleman, I heard from his mom that he divorced. Okay, okay, that is the first step. But then he remarried with the 5 kids, with a girl, with a lady, with a woman having 5 kids. I said, that is also okay. He may be very generous. His mind might have transformed. So with the marriage, he brought 5 kids. So there is no problem of the money. So he put them into another house. But he felt the frustration, same identity crisis. So every time he used to send an email that I will attend your session, and he never attended for almost 2 years. Then he attended for a couple of months because he was very shy of talking to me. Now see what happens when the identity crisis takes place. Perfect example, a real life example. So he later on realized that his second wife is a drug addict.
Oh la la.
Love is blind. Love is not blind. It is the attachment that is blind.
Mm.
Now comes another identity crisis. He's very strict. It doesn't take, he's a totalitarian. And in that way, he is a wonderful guy. But now he found that at his home, there is one person who is drug addict. The identity crisis brought him to a very low point, frustration, anger, and hesitation. He because he's very intelligent, so he used to think, why I divorced the first one. Identity crisis, real life. So I used to send an email once a month. How are you doing, my friend? Huh? You are very wise. Blah blah blah. So recent email a month ago, I got an email that I have nothing to achieve. Uh, I am totally liberated. I have, uh, there is nothing to talk about the relationship. Very philosophical. The next day, his mother had a session with me. And I said, how your son is doing? No, he's traveling for 1 month into the deep forest alone.
Oh la la.
A perfect example of identity. I said, what? Yes, but he always talks about you. I said, thank God he talks about me.
Oh,
But at least he does not talk about that I put him into the situation. So he sent that email that I have nothing to achieve and philosophical. So I said, responded to him that now, my dear friend, you are enlightened. You don't need any session. He responded instantly, saying that, thank you, sir. At least you say that I'm enlightened. This is a perfect example of identity crisis. So, what happened? He earned a lot of money. He had almost 7 or 8 houses, big houses in this area, and at the same time, he divorced his first wife, so that he is repenting. He is frustrated, and he is frustrated with the second wife also. So, lot of frustration when you are utterly frustrated with the world outside. Then your mind says, I have nothing to achieve in this world. So I escape the reality. And that is why I'm running into the forest. Come on, your head will also go with you. You cannot run. That is the identity crisis. My dear friend, understand that point, that it does not matter whether you are rich or poor, whether you have 5 cars or 5 houses, whether you are married or bachelor or divorced. What matters most is to resolve this identity crisis. And when we do not resolve this identity crisis, it bites you every day when you wake up in the morning. It depresses you when you go for a sleep. Your mind returns with a frustration and conflict and jealousy and a hatred when you are taking your food. It doesn't leave. I've seen a lot of people in this journey. I gave you only one example. So this identity crisis is because I do not know who am I. I claim falsely who I am. I identify myself uh, with a husband whose wife is a drug addict. I identify myself with another first wife who did not listen to me. And then I identify myself with the third husband who thinks failingly, oh, I should not have divorced. What a, and then the fourth identification, that now I have left everything. I am very happy. I am enlightened. You cannot escape the reality. You have 5 houses. Both the wives will claim this is mine and this is mine. You cannot live peacefully. So that is the reason. That is the reason our master says, draw, understand that we are suffering from identity crisis, and please, identity crisis, and resolve this identity crisis completely so that we can live a life of peace and happiness. And the journey begins with that mind should be calm and relaxed so that we can do the self inquiry. Let us close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Adjust and align your body, and the mind is looking within. So, solving this identity crisis that we just understood, best part is the best thing to do is to find the common ground. So there are many Shanti mantras where we can discover this common ground in variety of ways. And one of them is Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. You may say it in your mind. So there are 3 levels of chanting the mantra and moving to the knowledge. 3 stages of the mantra to move to the knowledge. So first is the word or the speech. So we simply say in our mind, Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. The word is we have spoken. The meaning is let everyone be in the state of well being. Everyone. None is left. None is left means that we don't divide any person or any human being. So now see that what we are searching, what is the knowledge part? We are in a journey to the mindfulness. So when we say we, means there is a difference. There is a I, you, he, she. And that is another identity crisis. Then we go deeper, we find we are made up of the same elements. We go deeper, Master says, we all are in a state of well being. That is a common factor, irrespective of the age, sex, gender, status, married, happy, divorced, unhappy. So, by the mantra, we should arrive at a knowledge of a common point. The state of well being is always there. Because of the identity crisis, we get frustrated, we have failures and conflict. Now, see the second line of the mantra Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Just move your mind with an understanding and the knowledge. The meaning of this is may there be peace for all. Peace. Who doesn't want peace? Because every living being is seeking peace. It means peace is their essential nature and it is a common point. So, my job in life is to be in peace and to share the same peace to everyone. But when we suffer from identity crisis, then we cannot share peace with everyone. So I told you the mantra has to be followed in three stages. By the speech, we should chant it, we should know the meaning, and then we should explore the knowledge hidden in the mantra through contemplation and reflection. Third line of the mantra Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Meaning, may there be completeness in all. It is because of sense of incompleteness and because of the sense of incompleteness, we suffer from identity crisis. Identity crisis simply means I falsely claim I am an individual. I falsely claim I identifying with the world outside, but I do not know who am I. So the master says, take the mind deeper within. Find you are complete in yourself. You are the whole. You are the real self. सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु. Meaning is, may there be an auspiciousness for all. Auspiciousness in time, in space, from moment to moment. That is what we are seeking, that my life should be happy, peaceful, whole, today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, week after, month, years, in all relations, in all locations. And when that happens, that life is the life of auspiciousness. So that is a pointer to the journey of the Eastern wisdom. Because all experiences takes place in the mind, so we chanted the mantra. Now we rise in consciousness a bit to dissolve that identity crisis. So we become comfortable. So we look at mentally the neck joint, be there. You are aware of the neck joint, or the mind is there on the neck joint. So you feel. How do you feel? You are aware. And in that awareness, you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The mind moves on the shoulder joints, be there, feel. And experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Mind moves on the hip joint, be there, feel sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Sometimes we say it is a preparatory step, but no, it is one of the most finer steps. In this journey from today, we will go deeper. Being comfortable means I'm settled. You are hungry, you eat food, you are settled within. You are thirsty, you drink water, you are settled. So when you are settled, you are wise. When you are wise, you start living wisely. So the entire body. So when you are settled, you are comfortable. No doubt you feel, no doubt you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Now, in that state, you are aware of the thoughts coming and going, entering into the mind and leaving. So we step back. There is another word. We step back, or it is like standing across a road watching the traffic. What is the traffic? Traffic of thoughts, feelings, whatever comes to the mind. Whatever comes to the mind. You are an observer. So when you are an observer, again I'm saying you were. So the false I, that false I starts observing, starts observing, it steps back, and that false I as though disappears. And because it disappears, you find a sense of freedom. That is, that is being carefree. See that? So now, because we have to deal with this identity crisis or the false I with the false I itself, the false I is treated by the false I, what we discussed. How we treat it? We treat to resolve this crisis. So we move the mind on the head and the neck. We experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. You see that experience is, experience is sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So there should be an experiencer, and that experiencer is the mind. Is the mind. It is not real I. Look at the right arm, be there. Experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Knowledge must guide us. Understanding and the clarity must guide us the path of mindfulness. Otherwise, it becomes habitual, mechanical, and we fall back into the same problem again. So, experiences sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So, there has to be an experiencer. So, here the mind, or we can say the false I, becomes an experiencer. Left arm. We will continue our journey until we find the real I. So, at the outset, we understand that experiencer is not the real I, it is the mind. Because all experiences takes place in the mind. In the move the mind on the left arm, be there, feel, experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So there has to be an experience as it is the mind. The middle portion of the body from the shoulder down to the waist in the front and the back. Experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Right leg, awareness of the right leg. experience of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. There has to be an experiencer. That experiencer is the mind, because all experiences takes place in the mind. I am different from the mind. You see how our masters minutely demands us to remain as a witness and observer to dissolve this identity crisis that we discussed. Left leg. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Awareness that the experiencer is in the mind, the entire body. The entire body experiencer is in the mind, which we say I. It experiences sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Because this I is very subtle. So the mind has to be also made very subtle, not by focus, but by awareness. So we do not focus on the breath. Casually look at the breath. So the I know or knowledge comes when I look at the breath. Knowledge number one, breath is going in and out. Second knowledge, we feel the sensation of the breath going in and out. And third knowledge, we hold on the mind on the breath by the knowledge that we should not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. If the change is there in the rate and the rhythm of the breath, the mind is working on us. We are just casually looking at the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation, no change in the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness in the body. Do not think we will continue our journey with this new practice of mindfulness. Do nothing. So, when you do nothing, you get rid of the false doer. Here, in a state of doing nothing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences and bring the hands down. To unmute. I muted it. How are you? Yes,
Yeah, I feel very calm.
very
Very
calm. Yeah.
good meditation. Yes.
Very calm and good meditation.
Yeah, using the mind for the positive and the negative. That's fine.
Yeah,
There's both. There are both sides. Two sides to it.
so negative
Right?
side belongs to false identity. It
Yeah.
is an identity crisis, and positive side is helping the mind to realize, to recognize who we really are.
Yes.
So you see, the entire journey when we talk about who am I, who we are, what is the world, where is the what is the existence, the main goal is to pinpoint, reach to a point where we cannot return back. Return back means that now we are firmly settled and realized who we are.
Okay.
So when we recognize and realize who we are, that identity crisis falls naturally, and we find and discover that peace and calmness.